What's going on, everybody? You may have been wondering what we've been cooking up. Today, we're going to be installing the After Dark kit. So here we are. Underwater lights, blue, for all Sea-Doos. Yamaha coming soon. Stay tuned, hang on for that one. But what we're going to do, install these, pre-wired, everything easy as it can get. Let's do it. So, what you're going to need, a few zip ties, a little bit of silicone, T30 on a rattle gun or a ratchet, doesn't matter, T-handle, doesn't matter. You're going to need something to strip wires, and you're going to need something to crimp terminals. You're also going to need either a heat gun or a lighter, something that produces warmth. 10mm spanner, 10mm socket, and a little thin piece of metal that in the mechanic industry we like to call a pick. It can be a set of tweezers, it doesn't matter, as long as it's thin enough to get in a small, tiny little hole. Other thing you'll see that you get in your kit is your wiring harness. So this is for the inside of the jet ski, which goes from the fuse box directly to the lights. In the kit, we're going to include 2 of these, which are just emergency nav lights. These aren't something that you're going to run all day, every day. It's something that you're going to keep in that Ziploc bag and then only use them when you're at night. So when you receive your kit, you are going to receive 2 of these stainless steel brackets that are for the rear blue lights. You will need to mount them to the lights themselves. So undo the wiring from the coil and slip the bracket onto the light, fasten the little 4mm bolts onto the bracket. Once that's all installed, that's all you gotta do with them. Let's go ahead and get these mounted up. So aside from the little 4mm bolts that you got for these, in the kit there's also 2 stainless steel 6mm hex head bolts with nylock washers on them. Those 2 with the washers are for mounting this bracket to the back of the jet ski. If you've got a boarding step on your ski, these won't work. You're either going to have to mount these or the boarding step. You have to pick. If you don't use your boarding step, then take it off and put these on. So with your bolt, run your wire out the top there, come down, sit that in position roughly there, get your bolt in the hole. As you twist it back to the position it will sit in, the bolt will, when you can find the hole, slide straight through like that. Washer and nut on. Right. Travis's key, it's done. Nice and tight. And that is your underwater lights mounted to your jet ski. Next thing we're gonna do is pull off this IBR shroud here, 6 T30 bolts. With that off, you'll be able to notice on the back of it, we have clearance in here. This clearance here is what we're going to use to hide the hole for the wiring. So we're going to drill a hole just up and inwards for the hole to run through. So between 20 and 25mm, just under 1 inch, you're going to be drilling a hole pretty much straight. If you draw a line between the top and the bottom bolt, about 25mm up there. 5mm drill bit. You don't need a template, you don't need anything. You can actually see the outline of where the plastic sits. This is a brand new jet ski. This has 4 hours on it, and you can still see exactly where it needs to go. So, as I said, pretty much draw a line between there and about 25mm up, so about there. Woo! I just drilled a hole in a $30,000 jet ski. What am I gonna do with myself? Fuck! The other thing, optional, you can do it without it, but to make the job a lot easier, I have a wire trace. You don't need this, but it just makes it a lot easier. All right, once your holes are drilled, take your rear deck off. So, deck off, you're gonna want to feed wire trace through one side at a time. Like it is. Then from the inside, reach in there, pull it through. You're not really gonna have to worry too much about where the wires run through the inside of the hull. Because the exhaust baffle's back here, it's all plastic anyway. Nothing gets really hot or anything like that. They're not gonna melt, they're not gonna get wet or anything like that. So pretty straightforward. Wire trace to your wires. Doesn't need heaps of tape. Put the wire through the hole and just push it all the way in there. Put it through the hole and get the jet ski. Ta-da! Next one. You're not gonna believe it. Put the wire through the hole. Ta-da! So, these two joiners, these are pre-heat shrunk. So what we're gonna do is connect our lights to this side and this side up to the fuse box and to the battery. So, lay it out roughly. If you've got a 325, it's probably easier if you take the engine cover off so you can get to where the factory wiring harness is. Pretty much, you just want to follow exactly where that goes. Make it look as pretty and as OEM as possible, because I'm a perfectionist. And that up there, that down there somewhere. Let's actually go around. Go down here. Next, we're gonna leave the negative off for now because it doesn't need to go on just yet, but I'll show you guys how to pull the fuse box apart and mount that. We're only adding one pin to the fuse box. So these two clips. So we got one clip on the front, one clip on the back. Pinch those two together, remove the cover off it, and then just using a flat blade, you've got one clip here, one clip here. Just push down on them, open it up a little bit, and the fuse box will wriggle out of position. So what you want to do is have a look on your fuse box cover and notice the bilge pump. All Sea-Doos don't come factory with a bilge pump, so this fuse will be free in your ski unless you have a bilge pump fitted, which I doubt you do. So this pin here, you've got 30 amp, 30 amp, 30 amp, space, and then the spare 30 amp. So the space in between these two here, we're going to be adding that pin into that one right there. This part can be a little bit fiddly, but in the bottom, obviously because it's a blank port, you've got a seal in there. So what you got to do is just get that pick in, push that out, and the seal, I guarantee you'll probably drop it like I just did, but the seal will just come straight out. Once that's out, I'll just get my torch, but now you'll be able to see, you can see the light coming through that port there. So grab your harness. You want to take note of how the pin sits inside. So this tag always facing towards the back of the jet ski, same as the pin on the other side of the fuse. So fold your fuse box forward, get down, you'll see that there's a purple and green wire going to the outside of the fuse box. You're going to the pin next to that. Slide that through and you'll hear it click into position. As soon as that's in, that's done. Pull your wiring back around and simply click your fuse box back into position, because that is all done. Don't forget that we still need to put the negative back on. So this one will just go straight to the battery. You can earth it to the block, but it's just easier to get to if you just want to put it straight to the battery. Grab your 3 amp fuse that's supplied in the kit as well. Just throw that straight in there. That is all done. The only other thing obviously we have to do is connect your lights up to the back of the harness. So first thing you want to do is just make sure this harness is exactly where you want it. Obviously all these new Sea-Doos, they're going to have the wiring harness that runs down here towards the back for the IBR and the exhaust temp sensor. So you pretty much just want to follow that, and we will secure it with zip ties a little bit later on. These wiring harnesses are a little bit longer than they need to be, just for people if they're wanting to fit them to the Fish Pros, to the Explorers. It's a very universal kit that'll work for everything. So any extra, we'll end up just wrapping it up like that and zip tying it to something secure. So your 2 wires, these are soldered on the ends from the factory. So what we'll do is just snip them off and then strip the wire back enough to join black to black, red to red, and then we can go straight into our heat shrink connectors from there. You don't need a set of these, but you just need something to be able to strip the wire. Now you may be wondering how the lights actually turn on and off. They are on the same switch as your dash. So the lights will only run when the ski is running, if that makes sense. So with the wires all stripped, sometimes what you'll have to do is just run a blade through the sheath of this wiring, just give yourself a little bit more room. But as I said before, we're just going black to black, red to red. Twist those together, just like so. Grab your crimping tools and you're going to put the black to black and red to red. Like so. Now we're just going to grab our flame and heat shrink those down all nice and sealed. Flame. Obviously don't like your jet ski on fire, but no heat shrink over the top needed, nothing like that. You're just going to gently apply some temperature to your heat shrink joiners and watch them shrink down onto the wiring and seal that connection up. And once that's cooled down, run some tape over it just to hold everything together. Obviously, as we know, the connection itself is all sealed by that heat shrink inside the joiners. So with that all done, we can put our negative terminal on the battery and double check everything works. This guy obviously has a battery charger installed. It's not going to be back installed after this. Now for the final, or for the test. Put your key on, tap your start button, and we should have illuminescence. Blue on blue. Don't ask me to make other colors because I'm not. Blue's the best. So just to finish it off, grab your silicone. You're going to want to get underneath it and just put a little bit around the wiring. Now, as long as you've drilled this up where I've told you to, it will sit above the water line anyway. It's only for when you're taking off and like on the trailer and that sort of thing, is these will be underwater. So just one thing to keep note of. You also want to put a little bit back in these little holes here for each screw. Grab your shroud, grab your 6 bolts, 6 screws, and when you're putting it back on, you just want to obviously pull the wire over so the wire doesn't get pinched. With that all done, just want to make sure that these are nice and tight in there as well. And you'll see that the sealant sort of pushes out around the plastic on the inside of here, and that'll just give it that little bit of extra insurance. But yeah, that's it, all done. Zip tie all your wiring up and put your engine hatch back on. So there you have it, guys. Easy install, no switches, simple wiring. As I said, start button on, you got straight lights out the back. As soon as the dash turns off, lights will turn off. It's not gonna drain your battery. It's not gonna kill anything. Yeah, nice and easy.